Hey, how are you? It's been a while since we really caught up. How am I doing? Since you asked, I'm about to go off into a 3-page recap of the last couple of weeks of my life and how I've been feeling. In the beginning of July, my brother came to visit me in New York City. Now, this might not seem like much, but I have lived in this city that has come to feel like home to me for 5 years now. And in those 5 years of being here, this was the first time anyone from my family has been able to visit. So needless to say, it was kind of a big deal. As one does, if you're like me at least, I put together a Google Doc of everything I wanted to do while he was here, everywhere I wanted to eat, every part of my life I've built that I wanted to show him. I'm the kind of person who will go to a new place and do everything and not want to miss out on anything because who knows when or if I'll ever be back, right? So that's what my New York itinerary looked like for the week. It turned out to be a really eventful week as expected. We walked about 7 miles every single day, explored parts of the city that I hadn't even ventured into since the pandemic had turned me into a chronic homebody, right from basement jazz clubs, speakeasies, bodegas, to the more touristy Times Square. Yuck, I know. Grand Central, the Brooklyn Bridge, among others. If there's one thing you should do, it's go to Summit 1 Vanderbilt, which is basically 3 floors of just mirrors looking out into the best views of the city that I've ever seen. I won't say too much because I don't think the way I felt when I was up there, emotionally looking over the city where I built my life from the ground up, would translate well into words. You'll just have to see it to believe it. Being a tourist in the city after 3 whole years was fun and all, but the overarching feeling that I'm trying to get at here is just plain gratitude. It was a different kind of surreal being able to show my brother my everyday life in the city, the beautiful home that I feel so fortunate to live in. Because I think back to when I started with a small room that I shared with one other person in a part of Jersey City that I absolutely hated, sleeping on doubled up sleeping mats because I wanted to be frugal and responsible for myself, the subway that I take now when I want to go to places, the college I went to when I first moved here, where I spent most of my evenings 6 to 9 p.m. after I'd worked 2 jobs or been at my internship for 8 hours in the morning, followed by a 45-minute commute back to Jersey when I would just want to go straight to bed but would stay up trying to meet all of my assignment deadlines. The place I work at, my office, which reminds me of the first job I ever had out of college, which was toxic to say the very least. I think you kind of get the point here, but all of this to say that the week I spent showing him my life was kind of like a movie for me in retrospect, a B-roll, if you will, of the last 5 years of my life and how it unfolded. If you told the Urvi who packed up 23 years of her life in 3 bags and moved here with a purpose to do something worthwhile with her life, that this is how it would all unfold, she'd have a hard time believing you. While it obviously hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows, while I've made my way through some of the darkest days this year, I think I've come to believe, as cliche as this might sound, that everything does happen for a reason, that there's a plan for how life is supposed to turn out, and in the end, that's exactly how it will. So for the time being, I might as well just buckle up and enjoy the ride. Why is my brother's brief visit making me dive into the depths of my inner monologue, you ask? There is just something about being able to share your story, your evolution, the mundane aspects of your life with your family, and there is something so fulfilling about watching them be proud of you. Living alone isn't easy. As humans, we're psychologically tuned to seek connection, so maybe this week gave me just what I'd been missing in terms of that. My brother and I haven't exactly been the best of friends growing up. There have been years where we've loved each other, years where I felt like a second mom, and there have also been years where we barely liked each other. But our relationship has evolved into sort of a quiet friendship that I know will be a pillar in my life when I need one. It makes me nervous that my family, probably my friends, will listen to what feels like a very personal journal entry at this point, because I feel like a part of me is afraid of coming across as cheesy or this not coming across as genuine, because on the exterior I probably seem like someone who is occupied in her own life, doing her own thing. But the truth is, I think I process a lot of my emotions and my thoughts in my own head and my own heart. I come to conclusions, I write pages and pages about how I feel, I cry tears of happiness and gratitude, but I'm not the best at always showing up as that person on the outside. If you followed along through this rant, all of this to say that I feel really grateful for the week I had and for the life I have, and I think about how grateful I feel at least once a day. As crazy as life may seem, and through all the highs and the lows, the 1 second of gratitude really does lift my spirits up. If you don't already, take a second to smile and reminisce and bookmark all the happy moments in your head. And if you don't already, tell your family that you love them. Anyway, that is all I have for now. If this feels cheesy or cringe, I'm sorry. If anything, I hope this little update on my life made you smile, and I'll see you again soon.